Good afternoon. I am Reverend Liz Walker, graduated from Harvard Divinity School in 2005. And it is my job this evening to welcome you. I am a preacher woman, and the only way I know how to welcome you is to pray. So won't you quiet your spirits for just a moment and pray with me. Creator God, God who knows no borders and builds no walls, we praise and glorify you, and we are thankful that the whole family of humanity is yours without exception. We ask you to bless this special gathering today in this hallowed space where the sweet stream of knowledge flows freely. We thank you for a sense of unity in honoring first the legacy of a great man, a teacher, preacher, and spiritual guide, a rock and restorer of the campus church and the campus, who taught us the grace to see beneath the surface of things, to know that which is worth knowing, to love that which is worth loving, and to value what is most precious to you. And we thank you for this dynamic woman tonight who inspires us, whose words give us rhythm and gifts bring us joy, who beams with a generosity of spirit that lights up the whole world. Bless and favor our guest tonight. Protect her roots, expand her wings so that she may continue to soar. Through this evening, help us understand that which truly matters, either by something said, something witnessed, or something felt. That we each may be pried from our comfort zones out into the many spaces where our joy can meet the world's needs. Grant us all a renewed vision here today so that we may reach beyond ourselves to increase our sense of purpose, to be sensitive to your presence, and to give heed to your constant call. So, Lord, set your spirit loose right now in this time of celebration and love, and we will give you the glory in every way we can. In all that we hold holy, let the people of God together say, Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Walker. So I'm Rihannah. Before I start with the mission, I am just like, whoa. So I want to tell you a little bit about our college, and I'm going to start with the mission of our college. So the mission of Harvard College has been for almost 4 centuries now to educate the citizens and citizen leaders for our society. And it's a mission our college takes seriously. We helped educate some of the people who imagined this nation and its aspirations. Our students, our faculty, our staff were some of the leaders, the followers, the intellectuals behind the anti-slavery and abolition movements. Other than the 2 oldest military academies, no institution has given more lives in service of its nation than Harvard College. And other than the 2 oldest military academies, no institution has more people who've been awarded the Medal of Honor than the college. And this notion of citizenship and citizen service runs through so many dimensions of our economic, social, and political life in this nation and increasingly around the world. Women's rights, civil rights, quality of marriage, all of these aspects are things that our members of our community have been involved in. And while we're proud of our history, we also share the same history as our nation. Its complexities, its contradictions. It's moments in which our vision of who we are was not expansive enough. And yet, we know that our aspirations run ahead of our reality, but we have a deep belief in the transformative power of a liberal arts and sciences education. And it begins for us with the intellectual transformation, new ways of knowing, new ways of understanding, all toward the goal of developing an independent mind. And then embedding that in this beautiful, diverse environment, which we believe not only deepens that intellectual transformation, but creates the conditions for social transformation. Our understanding of what it means to be part of a community. That a community is not simply a collection of interests. That dialogue is not simply the exchange of claims and counterclaims, where we learn to see behind each other's eyes, where we learn to hear from another's perspective. And then we hope that through those experiences, our students, ourselves, begin to answer some questions. Who am I and who do I want to be? And how do I relate to others and what can I learn from others? What are my gifts and talents and how can I best use them to serve the world? So a personal transformation. We're really honored by your presence here as our 2017 Harvard Humanitarian Award recipient. You've brought us together at a time that's very important because we now live at a time where our knowing each other has never been more important. We live in a time of contradiction and paradox. But I am very confident, as you can see from our students, that by drawing on our mission, our commitment to freedom, to pluralism, that we can create a model in our college. A model of respectful, mutual relationships that bring together our diverse community, where our diversity comes to be seen as a source of infinite possibility. We live in a place where our students come from diverse countries, diverse religious backgrounds, and we strive to learn from each other. We go past the stereotypes and monochromatic images, and instead we are educated to recognize each other, our distinctions, our nuances, and respect. Our diversity, as you can see, is our blessing. Our diversity is to be treasured. And we are very grateful for the work that you have done in your own life to bring diverse people together around art, through your philanthropy and your generosity. In many ways, as I mentioned earlier, our college is on a continuous journey. We're still in the process of becoming. Many of the people in this room would not have been permitted here a few decades ago because they were born the wrong gender, or they loved the wrong way, or they didn't worship the right way, and yet something in us has allowed us to continue to expand beyond that. We are here because previous generations of students, alumni, faculty, and staff stared down discrimination and prejudice. We are here because they had the courage to replace our ignorance with enlightenment, our cynicism with idealism. These are the ingredients for progress, and you embody those in your art and in your work. And as the Dean of Harvard College, I am just so delighted and honored to welcome you to our community. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Rihannah, for your remarks. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to the Peter J. Gomes Humanitarian of the Year Award ceremony. My name is Yusra Nabrai. I'm a junior at the college studying government and global health, and want to thank you all for making it out here today. Today we are here to honor our 2017 Humanitarian of the Year, Robin Rihannah Fenty. Over her career, she has worked on several projects aimed towards bettering society, including efforts to increase access to education globally through her Clara Lionel Foundation Global Scholarship Program and her support for the Global Partnership for Education and Global Citizen. But for this part of the night, I'd like to highlight some of the work she's done in the field of health and in helping to empower others in that way. Part of Rihannah's humanitarian work has been to develop a cancer diagnosis and treatment center at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Bridgetown, Barbados. As a student of global health, the impact of such an institution is not lost on me. Too often, higher levels of medical care are inaccessible to the populations that need them, allowing individuals to unnecessarily suffer from preventable or treatable conditions. In my experience studying global health issues abroad in Western Kenya, for example, one of the greatest barriers to obtaining medical care was distance to the treatment centers that offered the needed care. During my time there, I remember learning the story of a woman who had lost her life during labor. She was being taken care of at a rural health clinic where typical labor procedures could be handled effectively. However, because of her specific complications, the type of care she needed was at a larger health center, which she couldn't reach in time. Fortunately, there are efforts locally and globally to tackle issues such as these. And I tell this story not to single out a specific region, but to highlight the importance of this work. In providing such vital resources for cancer treatment in Barbados, Rihannah has worked to reduce barriers such as these to higher level medical care, and the implementation of such work has reverberations throughout society. I find this quotation from Rihannah particularly telling of the humanitarian spirit displayed by such work. If you have the ability to help and lend a hand, no matter how big or small, you should definitely make that your responsibility. To me, the idea that the ability to help others, no matter how big or small, now becomes a responsibility is one that embodies what it means to be a humanitarian. To prioritize helping fellow human beings to the extent that one can is to exemplify humanitarianism. As many of us are students and will be navigating life outside of this university in a few years, I hope this humanitarian spirit is one that we will incorporate wherever life may take us. Thank you, Rihannah, for inspiring us to use our abilities to work, and to exercise these abilities in the service of others. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks Jessica for detailing those contributions to healthcare. Thanks to you guys for waiting in line for an hour or more to get tickets to get in here. 5 hours, thank you guys. And I guess definitely of course the biggest thanks of the night to the Queen herself, Robin, Rihannah, Fenty. Let's give it up for Riri. My name is Dylan Devart. I'm a sophomore right here at the college, and I'm an intern at the Harvard Foundation. That's my team over there. Coming from a similar Caribbean background and having worked on education projects in many of the same countries that our honoree has focused on, my heart stopped when Dr. Counter announced Miss Fenty was this year's Harvard Humanitarian of the Year. The pop star and fashion icon we all know as Rihannah has headlined award shows, fashion magazines, and bejeweled flask memes. But today we're writing a different headline, and that's Rihannah, the humanitarian. The soul we feel when we hear her music is the same soul that remembers the struggles that children face in her native Barbados and around the world. And it's a soul that recognizes that oftentimes all these kids need is a chance at a better life, a chance to chase their dreams. Rihannah had that chance when she was 16, when an American song producer called Roger Evans brought her to America to tape her first demo album. Now, Rihannah herself gives kids a chance too. With the Clara Lionel Foundation, she founded to honor her grandparents. One of Rihannah's projects provides scholarships of up to $50,000 per year to students across the Caribbean. She's paved the way for ambitious students from Barbados, Brazil, Cuba, Haiti, Grenada, Jamaica, and Guyana to study in the US, and in the words of her 2015 hit song, be anything at all. when she's not personally changing lives, she's leveraging her fame to inspire her thousands of fans, all of us right here, to dedicate ourselves to global education. Partnering with Global Citizen and the Global Partnership for Education, she's taken to the stage to raise money, and she's taken to Twitter to change policy. Her Twitter spat with French President Hollande led to a $2 million donation from the French state to the Education Cannot Wait Fund. And later, she rallied her Navy to flood Justin Trudeau's office with calls that convinced the Canadian president to pledge $20 million to education in conflict areas. That's the power of the Rihannah Navy. And when she tweets a president that they better have her money, they better pay up. Rihannah remembers where she came from, and she empowers kids from Barbados to Malawi so they can shine bright like a diamond too. She's put her fame, her money, and her creativity on the table to make this happen, and that's why Rihannah is the Harvard Humanitarian of the Year. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Doni Lehman. Thank you. And I am a senior intern at the Harvard Foundation. Thank you again for joining us today as we honor Rihannah as our Humanitarian of the Year. Today I was asked to speak about Rihannah's humanitarian work, but I can't do so without first acknowledging Robin. You once said, "Robin is who I am. Rihannah, that's an idea of who I am." You may feel that these are sometimes at odds, your public and private lives, but I want to underscore the importance of both. Because it is the sheer idea of you, the persona you've created, your vibe, your lyrics, your fashion choices, and your humanitarian work that inspire us all. But I want to take this moment to also thank you, Robin, for giving up a piece of yourself and your life to Rihannah, so that the rest of us can benefit from her influence. As I began to write this speech, I found myself struggling, because what can one say about Rihannah? After asking myself this question a few hundred times over the past couple of weeks, I realized the answer was quite clearly within my inability to answer the question. There's really nothing to say about Rihannah, because as a result of her confidence and strength, she doesn't really care what I have to say or what you have to say. Unfortunately, in our society, this idea of a woman being unabashedly herself and unfettered by critique is a radical and groundbreaking concept. Too often, women are expected to fit into a box, to look, act, dress, and behave in a certain way, to play their part in our society's patriarchy. But Rihannah eschews these norms and expectations. And this is something we all know, so much so that it feels almost ridiculous to say the words, "Rihannah is a feminist," out loud. Because it's obvious in every outfit, every song, and every flask. While she cares so little about her haters, Rihannah simultaneously cares so much about others, their experiences, their hardships, their wants, and their needs. As detailed by Yusra and Dylan, her humanitarian work is extensive and expansive, but this is only one aspect of her positive influence on society. As a young woman with a passion, and by passion I mean borderline obsession with fashion, music, and pop culture, I am constantly influenced by Rihannah, for she is always at the forefront of cultural and societal progression and innovation. While some may deem these influences too informal for recognition, I disagree. In fact, it is the informality of these acts, the presumption that they are her norm, her everyday actions, and that they are in accordance with, rather than counter to, her womanhood that makes them so impactful. As a fashion icon, Rihannah has redefined traditional high fashion by championing an influx of streetwear, often directly influenced by Black culture. As a musician, she has owned her sexuality, and she has emphasized the strength and courage it takes to fall in love. And as a humanitarian, she has consistently used the scope and scale of her influence to better the lives of many, to save the lives of many, and to raise awareness for important advocacy work. Elizabeth Wilson, in her piece, Adorned in Dreams, Fashion and Modernity, explained that fashion is among many forms of aesthetic creativity which make possible the exploration of alternatives. For after all, fashion is more than just a game. It is an art form and a symbolic social system. Rihannah is an embodiment of this idea, for she symbolizes an alternative, liberated social system in which women can own their own desires and feel no responsibility to anyone's expectations other than their own. She provides a much-needed supplement to traditional white feminism. And important, it's true. Which is an important movement, but one that excludes the nuanced narratives of women doubly bound by their intersectionality. Rihannah as a sexualized woman reclaims her sexuality, and as a woman of color exerts her power unapologetically. Rihannah, you once said the following: "That's all I could ever hope for, to have a positive effect on women, because women are powerful, powerful beings, but they're also the most doubtful beings. They'll never know, we'll never know how powerful we are." I'm so honored to speak today to remind you how powerful you are, and how through your power you help other women realize their own. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers, and thank you, students, so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, students, faculty, Harvard community. I am Dr. S. Allen, Counter-Director of the Harvard Foundation and Professor of Neurology at Harvard Medical School. Today, it is my pleasure to present the 2017 Harvard Humanitarian of the Year Award in the name of the Reverend Professor Peter J. Gomes. Reverend Peter Gomes was a Harvard treasure. He served this institution for over 40 years as one of its great spiritual leaders. He loved Harvard, and Harvard loved him. He taught and practiced compassionate humanitarianism. He praised those who used their time, their talent, and their treasure in humanitarian causes. It is for these reasons that students and faculty of the Harvard Foundation created the Harvard Humanitarian Award in the name of the Reverend Peter Gomes more than 35 years ago. Today, we honor a person who exemplifies the Gomes philosophy of compassionate humanitarianism. Robin Rihannah Fenty, distinguished musical artist and noted humanitarian, has been named the 2017 Harvard Humanitarian of the Year. Rihannah's philanthropic journey began in 2006 when she founded the Believe Foundation at just 18 years old. The goal of the foundation is to help terminally ill children by providing critical emotional, educational, financial, and medical support. Over the ensuing years, she performed a series of charity concerts on behalf of the Believe Foundation. Over the past 5 years, Rihannah's charitable impact has encompassed a vast international scope. She has served as ambassador for UNICEF's TAP program, which raises funds to bring clean water and sanitation to children around the world. The aforementioned Clara Lionel Foundation was founded in 2012 by Rihannah in honor of her grandparents, Clara and Lionel Brathwaite. The Clara Lionel Foundation supports and funds groundbreaking and effective education, health, and emergency response programs around the world. With the voices of Rihannah and her fans, this foundation also engages in global advocacy with the goal of improving the quality of life for young people everywhere. Current programs include the Clara Lionel Global Scholarship Program. She donates millions of dollars to scholarship funds and health causes around the world. In 2012, she purchased a modern state-of-the-art radiotherapy medical equipment center and installed it at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Bridgetown, Barbados. The center is named the Clara Brathwaite Center for Oncology and Nuclear Medicine in honor of Rihannah's late grandmother. This center serves the diagnosis and treatment of cancer, all types of cancer, but it is especially used to treat women with breast cancer. Robin Rihannah Fenty has shared her time, her talent, and her treasure for humanitarian causes around the world. And it is for these reasons that we present her with the 2017 Harvard Humanitarian Award. May I ask you to walk forward, Rihannah, please? I will read to you. Harvard University, the Harvard Foundation, presents the Peter J. Gomes Humanitarian Award to Robin Rihannah Fenty. Start over again. Sorry. Thank you. I can't tell you what a gracious person she's been to our students all day. She has been wonderfully gracious and kind, and we really appreciate that. Thank you. Harvard Foundation, Harvard University, presents the Peter J. Gomes Humanitarian Award to Robin Rihannah Fenty, the 2017 Harvard Humanitarian of the Year, to mark the occasion of her visit to Harvard University and to honor her notable contributions to humanitarianism, particularly in her donation of the Clara Brathwaite Center for Oncology and Nuclear Medicine at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Bridgetown, Barbados. This clinic is dedicated to the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. Given at Cambridge, Massachusetts in the year 2017, and of Harvard College, the 380th year.
So I made it to Harvard. Never thought I'd be able to say that in my life, but it feels good. Thank you, Dr. Counter. Thank you to the Harvard Foundation, and thank you, Harvard University, for this great honor. Thank you. I'm incredibly humbled by this, to be acknowledged at this magnitude for something that, in truth, I've never wanted credit for. When I was 5 or 6 years old, I remember watching TV and I would see these commercials and I was watching other children suffer in other parts of the world. And, you know, the commercials where you could give 25 cents and save a child's life and I would think to myself, like, I wonder how many 25 cents I could save up to save all the kids in Africa. And I would say to myself, like, when I grow up and I can get rich and I'm going to save kids all over the world, I just didn't know I would be in the position to do that by the time I was a teenager. At 17, I started my career here in America. And by the age of 18, I started my first charity organization. I went on to team up with other organizations in the following years and met, helped, and even lost some of the most beautiful souls. From 6-year-old Yasmina Amina, who passed away in 2010 from leukemia. Her story inspired thousands to volunteer as donors through GKMS. Fast forward to 2012, when my grandmother, the late Clara Brathwaite, she lost her battle with cancer, which is the very reason and the driving force behind the Clara Lionel Foundation. We're all human, and we all just want a chance. A chance at life, a chance at an education, a chance at a future, really. And at CLF, our mission is to impact as many lives as possible. But it starts with just one. Just one. As I stare out into this beautiful room, I see optimism. I see hope. I see the future. I know that each and every one of you has the opportunity to help someone else. All you need to do is help one person, expecting nothing in return. To me, that is a humanitarian. People make it seem way too hard, man. The truth is, and what the little girl watching those commercials didn't know, is that you don't have to be rich to be a humanitarian. You don't have to be rich to help somebody. You don't got to be famous. You don't even have to be college educated. I mean, I wish I was. I'm not saying, especially today. It's true, I might come back, but all right. But it starts with your neighbor, the person right next to you, the person sitting next to you in class, the kid down the block in your neighborhood. You just do whatever you can to help in any way that you can. And today I want to challenge each of you to make a commitment to help one person, one organization, one situation that touches your heart. My grandmother always used to say, if you got $1, there's plenty to share. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was my honor. Of course.
Rihannah, we thank you for your compassion, your philanthropy to help others in need, and your wonderful music. On behalf of the children of Cambridge, I present you these flowers as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That now ends our program. Have a nice evening.